Moser at Crawford has been in a wheelchair since 1994, suffering from chronic pain due to the injuries he suffered in a car wreck. He says he uses marijuana to deal with the pain and muscle spasms, despite it being completely illegal in Kentucky.
I have a good life. I'm blessed. I have friends and family and dogs, and I got access to medical cannabis, so I'm not going blind or in pain right now.
He's advocating for House Bill 136, a bill to legalize medical marijuana in the Commonwealth.
If House Bill 136, medical cannabis, were to pass and become law in Kentucky, I would not be a criminal. A lot of other people wouldn't be either. I would not have to live in fear. I would not have to lay awake at night worrying about the law enforcement coming to my home. I would not have to stress about going to jail or losing my home, farm, or freedom.
The House Judiciary Committee heard his testimony Wednesday as it considered HB 136. Louisville Representative Jason Nemes is the bill's primary sponsor, and he says he has heard countless stories about how marijuana has helped his constituents.
When I'm campaigning, a lot of folks have heard me say this. I knocked on an 85-year-old man's doors, Republican, 6'4". He comes to the door and I say, "My name is Jason Nemes, I'm your state rep running for re-election." And he stops me and says, "Aren't you the guy that's pushing that marijuana?" And I get defensive and I'm getting ready to have to defend my argument. He's a 6'4", 6'5", big old fella, and he says, and I'm not going to tell you, Representative Lewis, that he starts tearing up. I'm going to tell you the dude started weeping. And he told me a story about his wife, that she couldn't get off the couch because she was wasting away in cancer treatment. And they have 2 sons, and one of them brought medical marijuana to his mother. He's admitting to being a criminal, Eric, to a state representative who he's never met before. And he told me what it meant for his wife to have her life back for the last little bit of her life. As he's weeping, never met me before.
Supporters say medical cannabis is a safer alternative to opioids, but some caution about the lack of research on marijuana's medical benefits.
We believe there's medication in it, and that's what we desire to see come forth for everybody as soon as possible. What we don't want to see is unleashed another mistake, if I can be kind to call the opioid crisis a mistake.
The bill passed 17-1, with only Representative Kim Moser voting against it. She also had concerns about the research behind it. Others criticized the bill for being too restrictive and possibly favoring big businesses instead of small farmers.
If history is the barometer, the tighter the laws, the higher the price, the larger the black market. Essentially, prohibition for those who most desperately need it.
There's also a question about how law enforcement treats intoxicated drivers. There's no reliable measure of intoxication since marijuana stays in your system for weeks, unlike alcohol or hard drugs. Nemes says the law allows patients to drive as long as they're not visibly intoxicated.
If you have a medical marijuana card, medical cannabis card, and you're driving in a way that's not inebriated, that is not a violation of law, I'll read the bill again very closely, and if I think that's even in question, we'll have a floor amendment to the point.
Nemes says he's not happy with several parts of the bill. Like, for example, the bill doesn't allow patients to actually smoke marijuana. They have to use THC pills or edibles.
If the physician thinks it's appropriate for the patient, they should be able to smoke. It's the quickest way to get into the body. It's not ideal, obviously, for a long term, but if I'm undergoing cancer treatments, I'm weighing which is worse. I think that should be an option of the physician and the patient. It's not in this bill. I wish it were, but it's not.
Nemes says he has to stomach some of the things he doesn't like, so the bill will be more attractive to his colleagues. He's confident it will pass in the House, but it might need some work in the Senate. In Frankfort, Joe Ragusa, Spectrum News 1.